Hey everyone. Didn't expect to be making a 360 tutorial in 2025, but figured I might as well explain how I set up the NXE dashboard with the guide and everything. Since enough people felt like they needed a tutorial, I did say I might do that. So it is pretty easy to set up. Most of the downloads will be in the description. Main thing is for the plugin itself, which is for the guide. You do have to join a Discord to get it. So we'll go to releases here. This is for the plugin. So you'll go to releases, and at the moment, this is going to be the latest one, 0.3.0. So you'll download that, and then there is an updated theme that's not included in this file. So you just have to go to the plugin UI theme section, and then for NXE, it's going to be the top one here. And this will be the latest one as of like yesterday, so the 22nd. They do also have other guides as well if you want to try something different. This isn't like actually Blades, but like it tries to mimic it, I guess, or something. But they got like Metro, so like the older Connect one. They got some like red ones. But yeah, you can mess around. You can pick whatever one you want. But this is just gonna be the one for NXE. So yeah, so once you download those two, the rest I'll have in the description. You'll also need the older dashboard, which I'll also include in the description. I think some guy named George uploaded these. So shout out to that guy. I do also have the boot animation. Keep in mind, if you're using BadUpdate, you cannot do the boot animation because you'll brick your console. And then I'm using the stealth known as Proto. This is what I recommend for this. Although you can try other stealths as well. I just haven't tried them, so that you might have some problems. But this is just going to be using Proto for this scenario. And then you're just going to need your launch.ini. Now, I think BadUpdate has these as well. Like launch.ini. I haven't been super familiar with it, but I'll point out some stuff that I believe is how it's set up. But this is mainly going to be for people that have JTAGs and RGHs. But you can follow along with BadUpdate. It should be mostly the same. So, but yeah, once you have everything downloaded, I'll show you first extracting the dashboard here, because this does include other dashes as well. So we got dashboards. The one for NXE is going to be the 9199. This is for Blades. 13604 is going to be Connect. So if you want to use Connect, you can do that as well. They just have each file in it. But yeah, we're just going to use 9199. So pull that out there. We'll extract the plugin UI. I recommend keeping it in one folder. So we'll extract that. And then for the theme, we're going to update that. So you open up the plugin UI folder, and then you go to themes, and you can just extract that and overwrite the files, and then now your theme should be up to date. And then if you do want to change the default theme, like let's just say I wanted like beta NXE is the new one, I would just go in plugin UI.ini, and then I would just type in like beta NXE. And then that should update that. So if you're using like a Connect theme and the folder's name like Connect, you would just type in like Connect or whatever the folder name is. So do keep that in mind. I'm not going to save that because we're going to just keep it NXE. And then next, we're going to go into our launch.ini. Actually, what we'll do first is this is how I have it set up myself. So I just renamed this folder to 9199, and I put it right in the plugin UI folder. That way it's just one folder on my console. And we're going to open launch.ini here now. And what I'll do, I'll actually drag it. I'll show you where it is on the console because I already have it there. So plugin UI, 9199, and everything's in there. So what we're going to do then for our launch.ini is first we're going to set up the plugin itself. Now for Proto, you're going to want to have it as plugin 2 because it's a stealth server. Now mine's on the hard drive because it's an RGH or like a JTAG. If you're on a BadUpdate, I believe it's going to say USB, but whatever it is, just leave that part normal, and then you just want to put it like there. So this is on the root of the console. So if I just put Proto like right here, we're not gonna have to add any folder like stuff. So if you just put Proto on your USB or however you have BadUpdate set up, You can just put it like that, and that should work for you. If not, I'm not too sure then. But if you're on a JTAG or RGH or a zero fuse, then just HDD and put that at the root. And for plugin UI, I have it as plugin 5. If you don't have anything in plugin 4, then you can probably put it there as well. But I just have it in plugin 5, and since it's in the plugin UI folder, you're just going to make sure plugin UI and then plugin UI.xex. And same thing applies for BadUpdate. Just want to make sure that you point it towards the folder. And then that should work for you. And then next is up here. This is what loads as the Dash default. So you can have it set if you like to like holding down a button, but I don't really like that. So here you're gonna point it to the plugin UI folder again, and then that 9199 folder that we moved in there. And then you're gonna want to set it to the dash.xex. And then once you save this and reboot, basically every time you would go to Xbox Dashboard, it would just automatically boot into the NXE Dash, kind of like if you had it set up for Aurora. So, but yeah, that should be all you need in the launch.ini. It's already saved. If you're using Proto, this is another thing you're gonna have to do. At least I had to do. I was having problems. Make sure the HUD modifications are set to false. That way it doesn't say like Proto, like Taiwan KV and stuff, because I was having an issue with it, so I just disabled that. You can disable this as well if you want. You can set this as the dash, but it's just kind of redundant because you already did it in launch.ini, so you shouldn't really have to do it here. But you can do it here instead if you'd like, instead of doing it in launch.ini, but you don't really have to. So, but yeah, once those are all set up, just gonna go to the console here and just gonna take basically all of these except for the boot animation. You're just gonna take all those and you're just gonna drag them onto your console, just like that. So mine are already there again. And then for the boot animation out, again, keep in mind if you're using BadUpdate, do not do this. You will break your console and it will not work again unless you somehow flash it, like reflash the NAND. But just don't do it. But if you have JTAG or RGH, you're gonna go to media. I think you can do this at XX menu as well, but I'm just doing it through neighborhood. If you go to the media section here, this will be your console's flash, and you just drag the boot animation and you overwrite it. So then now it's gonna be the newer boot animation, or the excuse me, the older boot animation. But yeah, after that should be good to go. Just a quick note, as I'm editing this, I forgot there's actually also some font files you can replace to get the older font back. I'll put a link for those in the description. Those are going to go in the same spot as the boot animation. Again, if you're using BadUpdate, please do not replace those either, because same thing, you'll just break your console. I'm going to reboot this here. All right, we should get the old boot animation. Again, please don't do that if you're using BadUpdate. You'll break your console. And we should boot into NXE. There we are. And then Proto should load momentarily, or whatever stealth server you're using. There we go. And then we should also get the guide, which we do. So yeah, that's how you set it up. You can just sign right in. And it's in there. Everything should work as it is. Yes, there we go. Old guide, we got all the old tabs. Obviously the guide here as well. So yeah, that's how you set up the old NXE Dash with the HUD and everything. Hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions, leave a comment below. Thank you.